Where were you the day that Nixon resigned?
In prison. At Holabird.
How did you feel?
Well, I was relieved that it was over. Disappointed, because I would have thought he would have taken his own troops with him if he was going to resign, pardon us, or commute the sentences. Hopeful that probably Jerry Ford would do that. Sad for Nixon, personally. I mean, I really felt it. I really felt empathetic, because I knew what an incredibly difficult thing that was for him to do. Just to stand there and look at people in shame. How hard that would be for a man that proud.
Did he ever talk to you about a pardon for you?
Nope.
Did you see him afterwards?
Oh, yeah. The first week I was home from prison, I got a call from him. I had said something negative about Kissinger on television, Barbara Walters. And Nixon calls me, and it's like old times, and we're just chatting away, and he is ebullient. And he got one Secretary of State, and we got to support him. I said, you didn't like what I said on television. I think we should let Henry. He was nicely telling me to lay off of Henry. I'm sure Henry called him. But it got us into a good conversation, and that's when he said to me, you're not going to go into this religious business, are you? He said, if you want some help, I got people in business would love to hire a guy like you. I said, no. I said, sometime I'll come out and see you if you'll let me, maybe a Sunday morning. And I said, I'll talk to you about it, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And I did go out and spend 3 hours with him on a Sunday morning. Deliberately told him on the phone that I was coming out because I knew he liked Sunday morning worship services at the White House, and he wouldn't go to church now in San Clemente, but I would conduct a church service for him in his office. I got there, and he had had his phlebitis. His leg was elevated. My wife was sitting in the waiting room. I figured I'd be with him a half an hour. I was there 3 hours. I never got to talk about what I wanted to talk about. All he talked about was Watergate, mistakes we made. His first question to me is, what did you go to prison for, Chuck? I said it was for disseminating derogatory information about Daniel Ellsberg. He said, I told you to do that. I said, yes, I know. That's what I went to prison for. Which story I've not told beyond my family, but my wife roars laughing, because here I go to prison for the guy for doing what he said, spent 7 months in prison, and he doesn't even know why I'm there. But he wasn't himself then either. He was really shot after he left office. I saw him again a few more times, not in San Clemente, but when he came to New York, and saw him getting back on his feet, and always had a good relationship with him, and he was always very friendly to me. I never really spent much time with him after maybe the first 3 or 4 years out of. Oh no, I was in New York for something, and I called him, and he said, "Come on over." So we spent an evening together, and that was maybe the early '80s. But I didn't see him much from then until the end. Talked to him a few times.
Did you feel? Were you? When Bud Krogh went back to see the president after he had served his time, he felt he should apologize to Nixon because he felt that he had done something that had hurt Nixon. My sense listening to you is that you didn't. You felt that the blame could be shared.
I didn't apologize to him because basically I was doing exactly what he told me to do. And I didn't really think I was involved in Watergate, and I had given him, turns out, Henry Ruth, the assistant prosecutor, told me I was the only one who had done this. I was the one who had given the right advice. Get rid of the people who did this, hire a special investigator. Technically, I left the conspiracy when I did that, but it didn't matter because I'd already pled guilty. But I realized if he had taken my advice, he might still be president. So I didn't feel like I owed him an apology, no.
So did he disappoint you?
You know, sure, of course. But I also understood the man. Families disappoint one another sometimes, but you're still family.
Thanks for spending time with us today.